Hey everybody, I'm Paintball Dad. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the very first piece of equipment that you should buy if you're going to get into paintball, and that is a mask. Now there's three reasons why I say that the paintball mask is the very first thing that you should buy if you're going to get involved in paintball. Number one, because of safety. This is the number one thing that is required at any paintball field, is for you to wear a mask so that you don't get hit in the face or specifically the eye, causing serious injury. Number two is because it's the easiest thing to afford. The mask, out of anything, is one of the lowest costing items that you can buy to get into paintball. The gun is gonna, obviously cost you hundreds of dollars. Even on the cheaper end, you're gonna spend about a couple $100s on a gun and a hopper and a tank if you want to get your own setup. Most jerseys and stuff are gonna cost, and pants are gonna cost somewhere around 100 or over. A mask, you can get a decent quality mask for about 60 bucks. And then the third reason is because this is the one thing that's gonna significantly improve your experience on the paintball field. If you go to a paintball field and you use a rental mask, you're gonna get a mask that is disgusting. It's gonna be all beat up. It probably won't even have any kind of cushioning left on the inside of it. I've had plenty of experiences where I've seen people rent equipment, and then the first thing they complain about is that their face hurts because the mask doesn't have any cushioning left. The second thing is that it fogs up. The masks that you will usually get at a field for a rental mask are the cheaper kinds of masks that only have the single pane lens, so they are not thermal lenses. They're gonna fog up really fast, and obviously if your lens is foggy, you can't see where you're shooting at. That's gonna make it really difficult for you to have a good experience playing paintball. Now, as you can see, I have a lot of paintball masks here. You might say that I'm kind of obsessed with paintball masks, and you'd be right. But there's a reason why I have so many masks. Every mask has a purpose, and there's a specific reason why I bought each mask. For example, this green mask right here, this JT Flex 8, I bought this one for my son because it has a hard head cover, so it gives him a little more protection when he wants to play paintball. This JT mask right next to it, this is actually my very first paintball mask that I ever bought. I don't even remember what kind of model it is. It might be a Spectra? I'm not too sure. This mask right here is one of my newest masks. This is the Push Unite with the infamous skull design. Obviously I got this one because it looks super cool. Great look for tournaments, for wanting to give that wow factor. And it is also super comfortable, very light. When I wear this mask, I barely feel like I have anything on my face. Now let me run through some things really quick that you should avoid when looking for a paintball mask. You want to avoid looking for the very cheapest thing that you can afford, because most of these cheaper end masks are going to be single paned, as I mentioned before, meaning that they are not meant to be thermal lenses. They will fog up on you just like a rental mask, and then if you're fogged up, you can't see where you're shooting at, you're going to have a bad experience playing paintball your first time. My very first paintball mask was one of these types. This is actually the very first paintball mask that I've ever owned. I think it's a JT Alpha. It's been a long time, but I've looked up some pictures of JT masks and it looks closest to the JT Alpha. Now you can see, like, even right inside here, you can see that the cushion is kind of chewed up, and I didn't wear this mask very many times. I only wore it maybe like 10-15 times at the most. And then already I decided I needed to upgrade. I needed to find something that was more durable, that was better for ventilation on the lens, had more cushioning. So you really want to avoid the cheaper masks because it's not going to take long before you outgrow them and you want something with a better quality. But now that doesn't mean that you need to break the bank either. So right here I have a V-Force grill. This mask only costs about $65 on ansgear.com. Might cost a little bit extra, a little bit less on some other websites, but my favorite website to shop at is ansgear.com. For 65 bucks, you get a pretty decent tournament quality mask that has a dual pane lens, so it's not gonna fog up on you. It's got sufficient foam padding on the inside, great ventilation, got the soft bottom parts so you can also speak very clearly, and it has a pretty good look. I mean, it's got that that design that's built into it, where it's got that curve on the eyebrow. It looks like an angry face. So the V-Force grill is cheap and a good quality mask. You do not need to spend a terrible amount of money on buying a paintball mask. However, if you do start getting into tournament play, or if you get into very serious recreational play, then you will want to look for something that's even more high-end at some point. It doesn't have to be right away. It could be even a few years before you're ready to buy your next level up mask. I'll show you one of my favorites. My favorite is actually the Dye i5. It's not the most expensive mask that I have. I'll post a picture with the price of it, but it is my favorite mask because of all the features that it has. So the cushioning on the inside I find is a lot thicker than most other masks that I have. I even have a Push Unite mask, which is more expensive than the Dye i5, and I feel that the Dye i5 has a stronger cushioning, so it absorbs sweat better actually, and it just feels more comfortable. The other thing is that on the back, it has this big padded area, so that if you actually were to get shot in the back of the head, you have a pad to cushion you on that soft spot in the back of your head. It also has this little crank right here, so that you can just use one hand to adjust the tightness of your head strap instead of having to, you know, pull the two tabs apart like on most other masks. It's like a little crank system. It's also got a pretty easy lens change system, and it has just a really cool look to it as well. But yeah, this is definitely, I would say, my favorite mask out of all. And if you've been playing paintball for any amount of time, you've most likely seen somebody with a JT mask, and you really can't go too wrong with JT. Just make sure that you buy a model that has enough parts to it that are interchangeable so that it'll never get old. It'll be something that you can always maintain and upkeep. For example, the ProFlex. I have a ProFlex made by JT, and this is a very unique mask system or goggle system because it has a lot of interchangeable parts about it. So pretty much everything on it can be changed out to a different color. The visor can be changed out, the lens obviously. Although the lens system on this mask is the most difficult lens system to change out. Keep that in mind. I have scratched lenses by trying to replace the lens because it's just that difficult to pry out and then stick a new one back in. The nose piece that you see right here is tan. You can change that out into different colors. Same thing with the bottom piece. So this is definitely a mask that you cannot go too wrong with. The only thing that I would say I really don't like about JT Flexes is field of vision. I don't feel they have like the best field of vision, and they could be a little more comfortable. But for a mask that is starting out, I think at like $80 or $90, I'll post a picture with the price. You really can't complain. It's a good tournament quality mask that is never going to get old because there's so much that you can do with it. Now that covers everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. I just wanted to address the beginners out there that are looking for their first start into paintball, to let you guys know what you should focus on buying first and what to look for and what to avoid when you're looking for a paintball mask. If there's something that you see in my inventory that you want me to do a further review on, drop a comment, let me know, or ask any questions that you may have.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt